This video, we will talk about how to use reference variable as the parameter. What does that mean? From earlier, all the function we talk about you can pass a value through the parameter list. We all say that's passing by copy. But sometimes we do want to pass in the variable, and this variable value can be updated in the local function. Then when we come back to the main function, actually this variable value already been changed. So that means if we really want to pass in a variable from the main function to the local function, then they can also access the same memory location. We say you need to pass in by reference. So that's what we'll talk about in this video. We will see when we pass in a variable through the parameter list to a function. Before, we only show you how to pass in by copy, but now we will show you how to pass in by reference. So when we're using the reference variable as a parameter, that means you allow a function to work with the original argument. So remember what we say argument is, right? We say, what is the argument? The argument actually means when you call the function from the main function, you pass the value. We call that the passing argument. So this argument, before we only show you they passing by copy. But now if you allow a function to work with the original argument by reference, that means you need to pass in the argument by reference. So when you go through the function code, they will never just give you the value for that argument. They actually allowed you to access this argument memory location. So this one we call using reference variable as the parameter. So if you pass in an argument by reference, actually you allow the function to modify that passing argument value stored in the calling environment. So here the calling environment we only have, actually you can refer to is the calling environment. So far you can just think about they are just the main function. So through the main function, you calling a function, you pass in the argument. If we want allow the local function to make the change for the passing argument, we need to pass in by reference. So when you're using the reference variable as parameter, actually you provide a way to the function to modify more than one value. So that means the value in the main function already been changed too. So how you will pass in argument by reference. So a reference variable, actually we have a symbol to represent for that. A reference variable is an alias for another variable. So notation is with an ampersand. So here you will see, for example, we have the avoid function. We call get dimensions. So before you remember, you only see the int and the int, right? So from now on, if you want to pass in by reference, what you need to do is, after your data type, you just need to add the ampersand. So if after the data type you have this ampersand symbol, that means we pass in by reference. So you pass in an argument by reference. When you change a reference variable or map to the variable it refer to that. That means here in our local function, our parameter will point to the same location the original argument is. So using a reference variable to implement a passing parameter by reference. So that's very important. So you will a little feel confused now, but that's show you the example. So here we show you the example in example 15. So we will have a function called double num. So this double num function actually is, we have a passing parameter. You can see we have the data type with the ampersand. So we know we were passing an integer variable by reference. So then here in the function, we will double this variable. Then you will see not only the variable value will be changed in the local function, and also they will change in the calling environment. So we see here, that's how we will implement. So you will see here we have a double num function. So then the same thing, you see you have the int, ampersand, you passing by reference. So you passing by reference here, actually the same thing. Passing by reference just means after the data type, we have the ampersand. That means we're passing by reference. So then your variable name is called ref variable. Also remember here, we just say this one, let me show you. So the red line means the variable name. So here I give you the, let me change the color. Okay, so if I highlight here, so you see here the int with the ampersand, that's the data type. So our data type for this ref variable is int reference. So that's why here we're still using this variable name to call ref variable. So this ref val, you see here, ref val, we just times 2. So this times 2, times equal to 2. Remember we say this mean ref equal to ref variable times 2. So that's why you see here afterward the ref value being doubled. Okay, so being double is, before we only told you that's only the ref variable being double, right? But now we see here. In the main function, I have the value equal to 4. So then we display in the main function value right equal to 4. You will see they will display. But now, after we calling the double num function, we see what happened. So when you call the double num function, you see you're still doing the same thing. You call the function name, then you pass in the variable name. So even you're still passing the variable name, right? But when they calling this function, I pass in the value. I pass in the value by reference. So that's why this ref val will refer to the same location with this value. So let me show you. I need to show you in the memory location so you will have better idea. So you see here we have in the main function, right? In the main function, we define an integer variable called value. So remember what happened. What happened actually is in here. You see, in the main function. In the main function, actually, I told you, right? Whenever we have the variable, that's mean for this variable, in this value, okay, so then we occupy, remember I defined as int. So in this value, they occupy 4 bytes in the memory. So you see here is 4 bytes in the memory. So the value actually refer to this location. Okay, so that's when we define the value equal to 4. What happened is I reserve 4 bytes in the memory location. So then I'm using the values variable to refer to this location. So now I assign the value equal to 4. So that's the 4. So then here, after you have this one, right? Right, so that's in the main function memory location doing like this. So then when we call the double num function, so then here is the double num function. So in the double num function, okay, so then we have what? We have a variable called ref val. So this ref val actually is int reference. So they are integer reference. What does that mean? So they're just a location. So that's the ref val. And here is a reference. So ref val actually just a reference. So this reference, when you pass in the value through the ref val, they will assign equal to the value. But here, before, when we assign equal to value, we do the copy. But now, because you are reference. So what the reference mean? The reference actually mean what? Reference just mean an arrow. So when I assign the value passing the reference, so actually the reference refer to this location. Yeah, so ref val actually is not an integer location. Ref val is a reference to refer to an int. They refer to where? They refer to this value. So actually they refer to the memory location in the main function. So that's why here when we come here, when we do the ref value, multiply equal to 2, right? So so this one actually mean here your ref. So you see here your ref times 2 times equal to 2. That means the ref variable equal to ref variable times 2, right? But ref variable is what? They refer to this location. So when they refer to this location, they get the value 4. So then 4 times 2 equal to 8. Then they assign back, right? So so after we done this one, actually this one will be changed, become 4 times 2 become 8. Then they update actually in the value location in the main. So that's what the reference means. When you have your reference mean, right? Reference mean actually they are referred to the same location from the main function. So that's why even the local variable I try to update, you feel like that's only the local variable to update double. But because they refer by reference, so actually they update the location in the main function. So that's why if you run this program, after you passing the value by reference, after you double that, in the main function, the value will display from 4 to 8. So that's why you will see your output like this. Of course, the most important thing is you need to try that on the IDE. But here I want to show you how the memory look like. Because reference actually is using a variable to refer to the memory location. So that's we run this example 15 on IDE on Cloud9. So you can see here the value equal to 4, right? So then in the main function, they will display 4. But after the passing by reference, the value will display 8. Okay, so we run the program. Okay, so then you will see original is 4, but then they will display 8. So then the same thing, even you change the value, you see here, we change become 5. Then they will display 5. But actually we're calling the function 5 times 2 equal to 10. So actually even in your main function, they change. But also if we want, you also can check in the ref value here. Okay, so then we can see out. Okay, so we see here that's before double. Okay, so then we display the value. Then we can, after the double, then we see if the ref value changed. So you can see here, after we run, right, you see when we, in the main, we display the value original equal to 5. So then you're calling the value. So we're calling the double num function, right? So let's add some information here. You can see when we passing the value to the ref variable, the original value they display is 5. So then actually we double. So then after we double, right, the ref equal to 10. So this 10 is not only displayed in the local function. So then when we back to the main function, the value also change become 10. The reason is because this ref value, the ref val variable is referred to the value location in the main, just like we display in the PowerPoint file.